It's the fifth birthday of the Once and Future Theater Build thread, and I want to stop and see where we are, see where we've got left to go, and how things are going. I'm introducing you again to this from coming down the stairs out of my kitchen and upstairs main level of the house. And as we come down the stairs, we come to the new hole that I busted through the wall to build the theater and the equipment closet and rack right here on the front. Obviously, it's missing some drywall on this outside surface. We're going to need some drywall finishing and whatnot as we finish in the rack. I've got hopefully put a brick veneer on this outside wall after it gets drywalled to kind of complement the look we have working. Within the closet, you'll notice that I had to shim these rails pretty significantly to get everything square and plumb. But now that it is, everything seems to be good. You can see some other details in the closet. I've got some conduits, just some PVC pipe in place to give me a little future proofing. I've also got a bunch of low voltage wire coming in from what amounts to the seating, the riser inside the theater, as well as all this wire that comes in from the stage end of the room, the screen end of the room. You can see over here is the Graphic Eye GRX 3506 control unit. Above us we have an access panel for the water shutoff and the two 6-inch flex duct supply lines, as well as the whole house worth of drain for the plumbing system in the house. There's also a little bit of extra conduit that runs up to the screen itself. Also out here in what amounts to the lobby area, we have continued work on this area that will become a sink. You can see the drain and water supply there. You can also see the duct liner up against the wall, inside the wall cavity. That's the return plenum for the air conditioning system, which runs down under the floor that I'm standing on and back to the air handler. That's an 8-inch return duct. We have this giant bag of duct liner that I haven't put to much use yet, aside from that particular section of plenum and the boots for the cold air inside the theater. I'll remind you, you'll notice that the wall here is built on a 2x6 footer and header with staggered stud construction. You can see through the wall there for soundproofing. So here we come back to new stuff you've not seen much. This is the new door. It's been caulked and backer rotted, sealed all the way around. It has these adjustable door seals. Soundtrap from Zero International via the soundproofing company. You can see my door, or I also, for these the door seals, I ended up shimming them out off of the jamb to get me a little bit of extra overlap to ensure that there was no free space between that the door didn't come short of the jamb, to leave a gap that way. So there's plenty of overlap between the seal and the face of the door there. You can see my iron pipe handle. Of course, everything is still masked. That's the copper sheathing underneath there. We have the automatic door bottom at the bottom of the door there. All right, so this has gone on long enough. Let's go inside. I've got the lights on right now. They're all the way up, full power. They're controlled by the C-Touch wall station that I bought off eBay right here. Came already with four switches on it. It's 4 scenes: for welcome, halftime, movie, and sports. And of course that's off. And that seems to be not necessarily what I would have chosen, but working pretty nicely for me. As we move inside here, obviously the strongest visual elements in the room are the lights, which again I handmade out of iron pipe And the wall, which I covered in reclaimed fence pickets that I've tinted dark, not super dark, but a little bit of dark with some Cordovan tint. If we pan around here, you'll see here's the back side of the wall we were just looking at with the sink. There's the return air duct, the grill. And at the front of the room, you can see one cold air supply just to the right of where the screen will be, and another one just to the left of where the screen will be. You'll notice, of course, the door here that will go to control access to the back side of the equipment rack. And of course, the main soundstage, we've got all DIY speakers from DIY Sound Group. Those are the no longer available cheap thrills for left, center, and right. That's a 15-inch woofer with a 12-inch SEOS waveguide and a compression driver tweeter. You can see my first two subwoofers, the UM15-22 from Dayton Audio in 3 cubic foot sealed boxes, sitting on top of a Sandfield 14-inch stage. The speakers themselves are sitting on what is to become a Helmholtz trap. This is a design that I have kind of co-opted or copied from JPA's build thread that was commissioned for his theater. It's actually very similar size and shape, just deployed in a different direction here. You can see that it is caulked and sealed against the wall and the stage, and the inside, all the seams are caulked and sealed. The face of it that is currently open will get some of this more MDF that will be perforated with, I haven't quite done all, but a small pattern of holes, 1/2 inch or 3/8 inch holes, about every inch or so across the whole field of it. This trap, of course, serves as a speaker stand. It's about 40 inches off the stage, which is a little bit high, but that's okay because the acoustic center of these cheap thrills, or I guess the main acoustic beam of these speakers, is tilted up by about 10 to 15 degrees, which in this case, since I have them upside down, tilts that main sweet spot back down towards the listening area. It's about 25 inches deep, one full sheet of MDF wide, so it's about 96, 97 inches wide. And it will get some R30 insulation hanging from the top of it, which is to say, we'll hang some insulation down from here to provide insulation behind the front face of it, and then a significant air gap to improve the bandwidth and bass absorption capabilities of the Helmholtz trap. I expect it to be effective from around 60 to 70 hertz up to about 150, 200 hertz, maybe a little bit better than that on the top end bandwidth, but have a nice broad flat absorption pattern. Let's see. The surround speakers are painted, done, wired up, and in place. That is another DIY Sound Group Volt 10 LX edition. The cabinet itself is non-standard. It may be tough to tell from this angle, but the side of it is angled down to give me about a 12-degree tip down towards the listening area. Otherwise, they're as high and out of the way as I could have mounted them just to maintain access as I walk around the room. Let's see, moving back towards the door here, you can see some wiring for the projector, the exhaust vent for a potential projector hush box that routes back into the air conditioning return unit, and my projector mount. Also, you can see one of the last two subs that I still need to continue to refinish and get figured out here. This is approximately the same 3 cubic feet for the same UM15-22 sealed subwoofer, but just in a plywood cabinet of my own design to fit my own space and design needs. You'll also notice that I have a microphone set up here and that I had some equipment in the rack. It's not all hooked up yet, but I'm getting ready to start measuring the bass response in here so I can get an idea before I finish out my Helmholtz trap if everything is in the right direction. I'll be getting hopefully some improvement in bass uniformity and bass response as a result of the trap. So where do we go from here? I've got several things outstanding. Obviously, there's no screen. I also need to figure out exactly how I'm going to finish in the area surrounding the screen. I'll probably build some fixed frames, but I'm also considering some just free hanging curtains. I'm also going to want some kind of proscenium or other valance or some kind of shield to hide the track lighting there above the screen. If you may not be able to tell, but those lights are pointed back out into the room to help us illuminate the room for this video, but they'll tilt back the other way to illuminate the screen more directly once everything's finalized. So once I get a screen wall up and a screen in, it's just a matter of carpet and getting somebody to finish in the outside of the room and the drywall and brick and all that kind of stuff for the rack and outside wall areas. One last thing just to point out, this is going to be difficult to see, but I also have, and they need some touch-up paint obviously, but I have some wall plates in here just to cover up blanks where I have run wire for Atmos speakers. I have run 6, so that hopefully I can manage to have, let's call this 9.4.6 still be Atmos systems, hopefully, by the time we're going. But I don't have any processing for that, obviously, at this point. And it's going to take some time before processing like that becomes available in a dollar amount I'm willing to spend. I guess that's it. This video has gone on long enough. Thanks for your attention, and thanks for your support and participation at the AVS forum.